All right, my name's Holly Elmore. I'm Elemental Impact, as I told you, and our tagline is sustainability in action. And how I like to describe us is we look out there in the corporate community is what could be happening and isn't happening. So let's do projects and make it happen. So we're all about, from an action-oriented. We use the food service industry as our catalyst. My founding organization was the Green Food Service Alliance. It was part of the Georgia Restaurant Association. And it's so fun now to have a partnership with the National Restaurant Association after we spun out and formed Elemental Impact. Our boundaries are the corporate community. I do my best to interplay but not actually do projects that are curbside or direct consumer oriented. And we have three main projects areas. We have POWER, which is perishable organics, waste to energy recycling. It's a think tank, a discussion group that gets together 3 times a year, and it's all about understanding what is our definition of perishable organics, what are the technologies that are available, how do you have to take into the economic parameters of your community, and so what are the solutions that are available community by community basis. And a spin-off from POWER that's just getting ready to get launched is GREASE. GREASE recycling energy alternative solutions for the environment. And I'm getting to, Scott's rubbing off on me with the acronyms. And that's going to be, we've been addressing spent grease, but we're going to be going into the grease trap grease and then other areas. So that's just getting off the ground. Zero waste zones is what we're most known for. That's what I formed back in, we had our launch in February of 2009. That was under the Green Food Service Alliance. And Chris is going to give detail on that because we've got very exciting news about the evolution of zero waste zones into sustainable action zones. So I'm not focusing on ZWZ for right now. What my main focus is the Sustainable Food Court Initiative. And it's all about bringing zero waste initiatives to the food court operations. It's not low-hanging fruit. 3 years ago when I started, there was no way that I would dive into the food court because there are so many different challenges there. You have legal challenges that relate to your tenant-landlord relationships. You have packaging challenges that are legal with your franchisor relationships. You have food service operators who don't control their own disposals. And then you have third parties that bring other items in that you can't control into the disposal systems. And we have our logo. I'm very excited about this. Yes, and we are also in partnership. The Sustainable Food Court is in partnership with the NRA. Chris is one of the co-chairs. You'll see in a minute. And I've already told you this is our mission. And Doug Kuhneman with NatureWorks is also. So we have from the nonprofit trade association side and the for-profits. And the team, we've got a really strong, phenomenal team. There's a lot of people in this room that are on that team. We're made up of trade associations. Lynn is on with the food packaging, Chris, of course, and then Brenda with the Institute for Local Self-Reliance. We have food service operators, HMS Host, and I've got to tell you, we were spent yesterday morning down at their corporate offices. We could not be where we are at if it wasn't for HMS Host. They have really taken the ball, they've run with it, they're willing to go beyond what I would consider the call of duty. They do things that cost them money, especially at airports where they have a little bit of flexibility. They are a true team player. And their definition, they choose to be an industry leader. And as part of that definition of leader is sharing. So they're very open with once they figure out how to do things, let's share. And I love the team spirit with them. Then we also have, when I was talking about that, we have to have the property managers on board with the food court. We can't work. They have the contracts for the hauling. So we have the City of Atlanta with the Atlanta Airport. We'll dive deeper into the Atlanta Airport. Simon Property Group. They are the largest mall owner, but what I realized when I did research, they're also the largest commercial property owner in the United States. And Matt Hupp is on board with us, and he is the National Director of Waste and Recycling, and it is so fun to see the enthusiasm going. And what I like also about the Food Court Initiative, it's not just food oriented. I mean, you keep the actual initiative and the team is food service oriented, but we're able to expand to the entire property. And we're doing a lot with plastic film recycling, and that's part of what we're, some of the easy things, wins to get going with. And then we also have industry suppliers. We have ASEAN Stock Market, Clean River, Mead with Vaco, NatureWorks, Solo Cup, and Tomra. So we have our for-profits that are in. So it's a really good team. And that's when you hear me, I speak a lot. And one of the key words that goes through all my speaking is collaboration. We must collaborate. We must collaborate at government levels, at nonprofit trade association levels, and for-profits. And just like what Lily was saying, everything must make good business sense. This is about good, strong economics. This is thrilling. Our first pilot project is with the Atlanta airport. It is the busiest airport in the world. And our timing was absolutely impeccable. It gets frustrating because they are in the midst of the largest food service RFP ever issued. So it's a blessing and it's a frustration because I have to be very careful. I must make this caveat, everything that I'm saying here is confidential, is not to leave this room so I can talk about things because they have not awarded the contracts yet. So I have to be very, very careful. I've done my legal stuff. What they have done, because of the support of the Food Court Initiative, the NRA, Elemental Impact, they went out and made the bold statement, and we are requiring every single food vendor at the busiest airport in the world must use compostable serviceware and consumer-facing packaging and source separate organics for compost collection. That is huge, absolutely huge. And that is, I see it as a catalyst to move the entire quick service restaurant industry because almost every national concept is represented at the airport. We got an award. And there's the Scott duos. And we can show this. It's a picture taken at the Atlanta airport. This is the 2011 Going Green Airports Award. I mean, how thrilling. We haven't even really got it that much off the ground, so to speak, at the airport. And it just happens, you guys. We already got a national award. It was accepted on October 31st. We're into action. You know, we don't mess around here. We've got 3 different subcommittees. We have our baseline and metrics reporting. We're into reasonable. We don't go for accuracy. And we've got the baseline that has been determined for the airport, for our concourse T. Sustainable packaging. Brenda and Lynn are on this. I'm very excited. We had a call last week. We're pulling together a nice package for that.
That's okay. Too many chords.
For the concessionaire who doesn't understand what compostable packaging is, it gives us simple explanations for it. It's going to be in a PDF that can be online. It's going to be something that they can hand deliver to them so we can be of support. It will not say specific vendors, but it will give phenomenal resources. And then we're getting ready for the front of the house recycling centers. Clean River is going to be heading that up. And then one that isn't on here that just formed is our communications. Those of you who know me know I love the media. I love the blog post. I'm really good at it, and we're going to make sure, I look at myself as I'm in the job of finding the pioneers, working with them, and creating heroes. Additional pilots, we're going up to Charlotte. We're going to have our 3rd visit up in Charlotte. Simon Property Groups has a mall up there, Concord Mills, that just happens to have a concessionaire contract with HMS Host. So we're going to be up there. We're going to be also, HMS Host also has the Charlotte Airport. And so we'll be working very closely in the Charlotte area. You'll be hearing a lot going on there. And they also have one, which convention, is it the Republican or Democrat convention?
Democratic.
Democratic. So they also have the convention coming up. Okay, off the record, it looks like the Georgia Dome is about ready to say yes to being the first event venue. Right? And then an office food court. We still would like to get CNN food court on board.
We will.
We're working